Hello, you're back with Beetle, back on Heroes V Hordes. Today we're going to be going through Secret Cemetery 2. Previously I did do Dragon Forest, which was very tricky. I started Secret Cemetery 1, which I only just completed really, so it is getting a lot harder. Just to show you who I'll be using, it's level 46 Frost Wizard, there he is, and his equipment, there we go, around the sort of average level of 15, mixture of epic rares and greats, so nothing too overpowered at all, and we're just going to hop straight into Secret Cemetery. So Frost Wizard, I'm unsure. I've had a sort of recent commenters talk about using the Spirit Shaman again, and it's got me thinking about who is the best hero, to be honest. I mean, as you can see here, we'll get the poison darts just because I quite like the ego upgrade of that, but as you can see, it's not always killing the creatures in one hit of the ice gauntlet there. Let's get the duplicator turn. That will affect everything that what we have so far. Certainly getting harder though. I'm leveling up really quick here. Let's get the area of effect just whilst it's there. Always a handy one to have. But yeah, the stages are certainly getting harder. It's not just a walk in the park. Damage does a lot. I think that's the hardest part of going through the stages is the damage that the creatures do. You can often always try and sort of survive and kill them if you have long enough, but once you get a bit overwhelmed and there's too many on the screen, the damage does a lot more to you. Let's get the cooldown term here, and we'll just keep going. Managed to get the little dragon from the ice unlock, so always helps. Let's get the chain lightning here. That's another good weapon to have. So yeah, I would be interested to see your thoughts on who you think the best hero is. Is it the Shaman? Is it the Frost Wizard? Or is it someone else completely different? I'm not too sure. I will work on a video. Let's get the ice gauntlet there. I will work on a video that will do a complete direct comparison between the Frost Wizard and the Shaman. If you'd like me to try and include someone else in that who you think may also be one of the best, let me know, and I'll do it in the dungeon event, where we just go through a few dungeon events with each of the heroes, just try and get a more accurate sort of data in terms of how many kills they can get, and then we'll compare the two, how many kills they both get, obviously trying to use the same weapons, etc., and hopefully that'll be able to give us a good indication of who is best, but that should also be taken with a pinch of salt in the dungeon, because I think whoever is best in the dungeon isn't necessarily best in the actual story mode. For example, the dungeon event is more about getting kills, whereas the story mode is all about survival. I will just reshuffle this. There we go. Let's get the bombs. Why not? I quite like the fire orbs, so I'm sure I'll probably get them as well, but we'll take the bombs for now. So yeah, the Frost Wizard I find could be better in story, although I would be interested in your thoughts as that as well, only because on the story, when it gets tricky, let's just get the chain lightning there. When it gets tricky, the Frost Wizard actually has an attack that he sort of produces from himself, so it's harder for the Frost Wizard, in my opinion, to take damage, whereas the Spirit Shaman, depending on what sort of weapons you have unlocked, he's just sort of stood there, and if you're not near your spirits, then you can often take damage, or it's easy for you to take damage because you don't actually have a weapon that can kill anything. It's your spirits which may or may not be next to you. So that's just what I am sort of thinking, but I will go through some of these tests to try and figure out exactly who is best and for what, whether it does change, whether you go from the dungeon event to the story mode, not too sure. I also feel like the story mode now is getting similar to what the hard mode difficulty is, so I might have to take a look back into hard mode and try and increase that. I think my gear is also a bit under leveled. It's really tricky to try and actually get new gear. You need to try and get those, this is free to play, I should say. You need to try and get those 300 gems, and even then it's just probably a small chance for you to get the epic equipment. But we'll get there. We've just got the ice gauntlet there, and I think number of projectiles, not 100% sure exactly what that is, but you can see it is getting a bit hectic as things close in, but let's carry on. There we go, next level up, we'll get the poison darts. We'll keep going. So far so good. I think, is it those puddles that hurt you? I keep taking damage, and I think it's running through those little red puddles. Might be acid, but as you can see, they're just closing in. They take too many hits to die. So their HP has just gone massively up, as well as their attack. This should help with the ice gauntlet glove upgrade, so that always helps. Just finishing off the stage now. I can't remember if this actually has a boss in or not. We should at least get a level up, because I've not collected too many of these little blue orbs, so I'm hoping we'll be able to get a level up from that. We do. And we get the ice gauntlet again. I think that's probably the best one, and I'll reshuffle that. There we go. Well, I wish I didn't reshuffle that. Looking at that, they're probably even worse. Let's just get the XP gain, I think. Why not? And then the chain lightning there. Yeah, I can't remember if okay, there is a boss. So we've got 2 more stages than the boss, I think. I think last time I had to do a boss, it took me about 10 minutes to try and kill him. Hopefully it won't be that long. Damage seems to have gone up, and killing these a bit quicker than on the previous one. Let's carry on. There we go, level up. Let's attack a bit faster, I think. Sure, seems to be going okay so far. Seems to be a bit easier than the previous wave for some reason. Not sure if it's the weapons that I've had upgraded or what. These little ghosts are a bit rarer, and I think they're the ones with the most HP. So this seems a bit easier than the previous wave. We're actually getting through it easier than I thought. Even actually the whole stage we're getting through it a bit easier than I thought. Whether or not it will get harder or not too sure. We'll get the evasion tome here. I forgot that we're going to need the Evo upgrade of the poison darts anyway. So we might as well get the evasion tome there. Just 15 seconds left to go. Yeah, certainly easier than I thought. The sort of first chapter of this was actually quite tricky, but this one seems relatively okay for now. But whether or not it'll stay like that, not too sure. But this should be pretty easily be able to be completed, and I don't know if we'll get a level up here or not. I didn't think we would know. I thought I'd got most of those gems, and we go on to wave 4, last one before the boss, and let's see how this one is. And we just got a level up there. Let's get the chain lightning. I think that's got level 4 now, so if we can get that to level 5, we can then get the Evo upgrade for that. I don't even think we've got an Evo weapon yet, so we probably could do with that. I got the chain lightning there just over the dragon's breath, as I'm thinking for the boss on the next stage. If I've got to dodge projectiles, I'm not actually too sure how tricky that it will be, but always sort of preparing for the worst. And if it is tricky and I've got to move around or not, Dragon's Breath isn't going to be as helpful for a boss as Lightning, which will pretty much always be targeting it. So that was just my thinking behind trying to get the Chain Lightning as opposed to the Dragon's Breath. I do really like the Dragon's Breath weapon in general, to be fair, especially once you've got that Evo upgrade and you get that little dragon helping you out. But I don't think we're going to be able to get the Evo upgrade for the Dragon's Breath on this run, at least before the boss, so thought I'd go for the Chain Lightning here. Poison Dart's perfect. We got the Evo upgrade for that. This is one of my favourite ones. It just does so much damage. We'll try and do a damage comparison at the end, but this Venom Vial does a lot of damage, and it's pretty much always right at the top in terms of the DPS at least. There we go, last 10 seconds of the wave. They're not really getting close. I've just been sort of moving around in circles. I'll get all the orbs at the end of this wave, and then I'm sure I'll get a couple of level ups, but that was easy enough, and we move on to the boss. Let's see if we can get 2 levels, because there was quite a few there that I didn't actually collect. Let's get the Chain Lightning. Do we get the Thunderbolt? And we do, just in time. And we still get a chest as well. I think that's the Evasion Tome. So that's all good. I have never seen this boss before in my life. Wow, what on earth? A big knight? That's amazing. Okay, I haven't seen that before. He's not moving though, so not that intimidating. Finally moves along. Some of these bosses are really bad, but then on the hard mode I had that spider. If you watch one of my previous videos around the hard mode, that spider boss literally took me about 10-15 minutes to try and complete, and took so long, and it just didn't really take damage, but that was easy enough, and I thought it was going to be harder. Let's get the area tome here. Let's get the area of effect again, just because that will affect a lot of my weapons. I know the Dragon Breath was there as well, but I think at this stage it's just worthwhile trying to upgrade the weapons that we've already got higher up. But there we'll just get the bomb, and here we go on to the coin rush. I wonder if it's best to try and stay in the midst of these little tomes. Maybe it is, I'm not too sure, but we will. And let's just see how far we get in the coin rush. There we go, just sped the beginning bit up there as not much happening, but now they're just about starting to get through, and I can see that these little gravestones are not affecting the creatures in terms of where they can walk. They just seem to walk straight through it, so that is a bit of a waste to try and hide behind them. I think I usually say it's around 6,000-7,000 that I get. It looks like this isn't going to be anything special. But let's just have a look at the stats if we can. There it is, yeah, Venom Vial, the DPS is always really high there. And of course the Ice Gauntlet with the highest damage, just because that's the one we start out with, so it will have had the most time to accumulate. But Venom Vial also equalised in terms of the total damage, and when you think how late on we got the Venom Vial to catch up, that's really impressive. And Thunderbolt as well, always really good with the DPS there. So there we go, completed it. It was actually a lot easier than I thought. Let's just double these. There we go, loot has been doubled, and there we go. That is the second stage, in fact, on the secret cemetery. Easier than I thought, so we might just go through these a bit more. The Dragon's Forest seemed a bit harder, but there we go. Thank you for watching. If you got this far, please do like or subscribe. That would be very much appreciated, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Thanks a lot.